So in this video, we're going to continue with our exercise 1.3 and we're going to look at question number 3 now. Let's read the question. Express the following in the form P by Q, where P and Q are integers and Q is not equal to 0. So basically this is the definition of a rational number, how a rational number should look like in the form of P by Q. And the examples that are given to us, as you can see, there is a bar over these decimal numbers. So these are nothing but our non-terminating. Okay, these are non-terminating recurring decimal numbers. Okay, these are given in the form of non-terminating recurring decimal expansions. So just to quickly revise, we know that decimal, let me write it down. We know that decimal expansion, or let's use a better word, I'm going to say decimal representations. So decimal representation of a number is in two different ways. Okay, is in two different ways. One is terminating, so where the decimal representation and the decimal expansion terminates, and one is non-terminating. Okay, I'm going to just write it in short, non-terminating. And in non-terminating, we again have two types. Okay, it's either recurring, or recurring means repeating. It's either, so the decimal expansion is either recurring or it is non-recurring. Okay, one of these two. And we have seen before that if the decimal representation is terminating, then it's a rational number. Okay, and if it is non-terminating and recurring, then also it's a rational number. Okay, so the examples that have been given to us are non-terminating, recurring. So non-terminating, recurring, so these are valid rational numbers, and if these are valid rational numbers, then they can be represented in the form of P by Q, where P and Q are integers and Q is not equal to 0. So that is our job. Our job is to represent these decimal numbers, this decimal expansion, in the form of P by Q, which is a valid rational number representation. So let's start with it. So I'm going to take the first example, which is 0.6 bar. So let me write it down. This is 0.6 bar. Let's zoom in. Okay. So 0.6 bar is nothing but 0.6666 infinitely. Okay. So I'm going to say let me represent x as equal to 0.6 bar, which is equal to 0.6666 dot 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 dot. Okay. Now I'm going to multiply both the sides. Okay. Let me write it down. Multiply both the sides of equation. Okay, both the sides of equation by 10. I'm going to multiply both the sides of equation by 10. Why am I multiplying by 10? Because there is one digit, a single digit under this bar. If there is a single digit under the bar, I will multiply by 10. Now in other examples, as we can see here also there is a single digit under the bar, so I'm going to multiply by 10. Here there are three digits under the bar, so I'm going to multiply by 1000. So the number of digits under a bar in a decimal representation, that will determine by what you should multiply both the sides of equation. Okay, now we multiply both the sides of equation by 10, so we get 10x as equal to, focus on this representation of x. Okay, so I'm multiplying it by 10, so this is going to be 6.6666 dot dot dot. Okay, I'm going to multiply this by 10 and this also by 10, so 10x is equal to this thing. Now I'm going to split this, okay, in the form of a plus b, and that is going to look like this. This is 6 plus 0.6666 dot 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 dot. Okay, and this is my 10x. However, can I say that this 0.66666 is nothing but x? Because x was the same thing. We only said let x be equal to this, right? So this number here, 0.66666, is nothing but x. So once again, I'm getting 10x as equal to 6 plus x. Okay, and now we are going to rearrange. We are going to get 9x as equal to 6, and thus we get x as equal to 6 by 9. But what is x? Let's go up. What is x? X is our given number, 0.6 bar. So this is also equal to 0.6 bar, and thus let me use a box, and thus this becomes our answer. where we can represent 0.6 bar. We have successfully represented 0.6 bar, which is a non-recurring, which is a non-terminating recurring decimal representation in the form of p by q, 6 by 9, where p and q both are integers and q is not equal to 0, which is exactly what the question had asked. Okay, p by q. So just for the sake of completion, I'm going to write here this as equal to 6 by 9. Okay, now let's go with our next question, 0.47 bar. So let me scroll down. Yes, so we have question number 2, which is 0.47 bar. The bar is only up to the 7, which means this is nothing but 0.4 and 7777 dot dot dot. Okay, so once again the same format, we are going to say let x be equal to 0.47777 dot dot dot. As I said before, since there is one digit under this bar, we have to multiply both the sides by 10. Okay, if there are 2 digits, multiply by 100. If there are 3 digits under the bar, multiply by 1000. So multiply both the sides of equation by 10. Okay, so we are going to get 10x as equal to 4.7777 dot dot dot. Okay, now again we split this number in the form of a plus b. We have to split this number in the form of a plus b. Okay, where b is nothing but it should be in the form of x. So b should be x. Okay, so I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to first write the value of x. I know what is the value of x. It is 0.4777 dot dot dot. Okay, let's zoom in. Yes. So I want to represent this side of the equation, right hand side, in the form of a plus b. Okay, let me in fact put a line here. Okay, so this side of the equation, right hand side of the equation, should be in the form of a plus b, or rather, instead of making it so complicated, let me erase this. Yes. So this side of the equation, the right hand side of our equation, should be of the form a plus x. Okay, we have already defined what is x. X is 0.4777. So now this side of the equation should be of the form a plus x. So x I have already written. Now what should be a? A is going to be yes, a is going to be 4.3. Okay, note 4.3 plus this will give me 4.777. Okay, so ensure that 4.3 plus this gives us a right hand side 4.777. Okay, 4 is as it is, and this 3 plus 4 is going to be 7, and then we have rest of the 7. Okay, since nothing is mentioned here, it is as good as 0, so we can just write as 0 in fact. Okay, and thus this plus this gives us this right hand side. Okay, now that we have split the right hand side in the form of a plus x, we are going to just go ahead and replace it. So this is 4.3 plus x, and we have 10x here. I'm going to rearrange the equation, so we get 9x as equal to 4.3. Okay, therefore we have x as equal to 4.3 divided by 9. That is nothing but 43 by 90. So x is equal to 43 by 90. However, what is x? In the beginning, x was this. Okay, so I'm going to just replace. Let me zoom out. So this is nothing but equal to 4.47 bar. So thus we have got once again a p by q form of representation of our input number 0.47 bar in the form of p by q. And let's continue this with our last question, 0.001 bar. So okay, we don't have space, let's go to a new page. Okay, before that, let's write the answer here. This is equal to 43 by 90. Okay, now okay, so the third question is 0.001 bar. Once again, we check the number of digits below the bar. There are 3 digits, so we are going to multiply by 1000. So first let's say, let's zoom in. Let x be equal to 0.001 bar, which is nothing but 0.001, 001, 001, so on and so forth. Okay, so multiply both the sides by 1000, both the sides of equation by 1000. Why 1000? Because there are 3 digits under this bar, hence 1000. So by doing that, what we get is 1000x as equal to 1.001001 dot dot dot. Okay, so note this decimal will shift by 3, 1, 2, 3. This decimal after multiplying by 1000 will shift by 1, 2, 3. So my decimal will come here, so it will be 1 point this thing. Okay, now once we get this, what we do is we express our right hand side in the form of a plus x. So this x has to be the same x that we started with, this x. Okay, so let's write the value of x first. So this is going to be plus x. So x is 0.001001 dot dot dot. And once we have this x, what will be the number here? It's going to be 1. So I'm going to write here 1. Okay. Once again, take a moment to confirm that 1 plus this thing is giving us our right hand side 1.001001. Okay. So this is representation of a plus x. And thus we continue. So this is nothing but 1 plus x. This is the x that we assigned. Let x be equal to this. And we have 1000x on our left hand side. Now I'm going to rearrange the equation. This xx will be on one side of the equation. So 999x will be equal to 1. Okay. Therefore, x is going to be 1 divided by 999. That is equal to 0.001 bar. Because again, why? Because we ourselves assigned x as equal to 0.001 bar. So x is equal to this, which is also equal to this. Once again, let's box it. So this is my representation. This is my decimal representation. And this is my rational number representation of the form p by q, 1 by 99. So let's go back to the question and write this also as our answer. Okay. So this is nothing but 1 upon 999. Thus, very important point here, we saw that in the beginning we saw that decimal representation can be terminating, non-terminating, and if it's non-terminating it can be recurring or non-recurring. Now if it's non-terminating recurring, it is a valid rational number. Okay, and this is what the question asked. It had given us non-terminating recurring decimal representation of 3 numbers, and since it's a valid rational number representation, we have to find a valid rational number of the form p by q, which is what we did. This is 6 by 9, this is 43 by 90, and this is 1 upon 999.